How's it going, my friends? Back with another video today, and I just want to start this off by saying thank you for all the shares and all the new subscribers that came from my last video. I know that the tip that I gave you guys for setting up the autofocus was really helpful to a lot of you guys. I just wanted to show you guys how I do it, and I do know that these settings may not be for everybody. I shoot weddings, I shoot people, and they work for me, and they have resulted in a much higher hit rate. But, you know, those things can change different types of shooting, you know, if you do sports or if you do landscapes or things like that. So just be aware that it may not work for everybody, but for me, totally transformed my autofocus and resulted in a much higher hit rate. So thank you for the shares. I appreciate it. If you guys are in any communities or things like that, I mean, you know, this channel is completely free, obviously, and you know, I put a lot of work into it, so the shares really make a difference, and I appreciate them very much. So today I wanted to talk about my review and my experience of shooting with the 85 1.8S. Phenomenal lens, guys. Just straight up. It is a phenomenal lens. This thing is, yeah, it's my new favorite lens. I mean, the 85 is absolutely beautiful in so many different ways. The 50 is incredible, and the 50 1.8S has its own. I did a specific video on that, so you guys can check that out. That has its own type of character, just like this 85 does. I want to give you guys actionable information. It's not going to be hugely technical. You can go look up the technical specs pretty much anywhere and like compare those yourselves. But I want to give you guys the information that I have shooting in the field with it. I spent all weekend shooting with this, 3 weddings back to back. I shot with the 35 and the 85 completely, totally. They were on me the whole weekend. And I have a very good understanding of how it works in the field for me. You know, focus groups, elements, you know, all the internals, the mechanics, things like that. Go look it up online. That's not what this video is going to be about. But I just want to show you guys and tell you guys exactly how I feel after using it. So basically, let's get into it. The first thing, which is always the most important, well, very top contender for the most important, is autofocus. Especially with the Z bodies, I need something that is going to pair well and is going to make sure that the focusing, I can trust it. You know, the G lenses with the adapters, they do work great. I had the 85, or I still have the 85 1.8G, and I've had the 85 1.4G. Both of them are fabulous lenses, and both of them are great with the FTZ adapter. I'm not, you know, knocking them, but I cannot trust the autofocus like I can with the S lenses. That's just straight up 100% truth. I cannot trust the autofocus. I always have to, you know, zoom into 100 if I'm doing family formals and group shots and things like that. I still started doing that with the S lenses, but I found it's always dead nuts every single time, so I could just trust it. With the G lenses, I really have to double check and just make sure that I'm getting everything in focus. The face tracking absolutely works fucking great. Fucking great with the 85 1.8S. It really does. The biggest thing that I love about it is not that it just, you know, picks up faces, but you know, if you guys go a few of my other videos, I was having issues with a couple of the other lenses where it would lock onto a face, it would lock onto the wrong one, and it wouldn't give me the arrow, the option to scroll over to the correct face. Now, this 1.8S, even if it grabs if there's like 1 or 2 or 3 people in the frame, if it grabs the wrong face at first, like pretty much all the time, I would say over 95% of the time, there's always an arrow to shoot over to the next face, which is great because, you know, after you've been using these cameras for a while, they're very intuitive and it's easy to know exactly how to switch over. I don't have to think about it. I can use the, you know, the little pad there with the OK button in the middle, or I can use the joystick and just flip over to the correct face, which I love because when I'm using face tracking, it's okay for me if it doesn't pick up on the correct face the first time. I understand that. I mean, it's if there's multiple, you know, faces in the frame, the camera's not a life form. It's not going to know exactly which one you want, so it's just going to grab one. If it grabs the wrong one, though, I need an option for it to flip over to the correct one. I found that the 1.8S this weekend was much better at giving me the option to flip over, so that is a huge improvement. Dynamic area autofocus in low light works absolutely great. I was using it on the dance floor. We had one of the receptions was very low lighting, and you know, I like to mix up my dance floor shots with ambient lighting and mix of flash. I like, you know, I don't like to just use flash on everything. I really like to represent weddings, the atmosphere of how it was, so the couple can remember like a real, you know, interpretation of the day rather than just like, you know, flash and flooding the room with light on everything. I like to kind of give dramatic and moody effects, even if it's, you know, underexposed. You know, if I can compose it right, it's a good way for the couple to remember, oh, it was, you know, the lighting was like that. It was a dramatic and dark night and reception. So I was focusing in low light, and it was very fast, and it wasn't, you know, it wasn't hunting a lot. And that's one of the things that I get so frustrated at. If it's hunting back and forth, which I noticed a lot with the G lenses, is I would get a lot of hunting in low light. With the S, very, very good. I don't really have anything bad to say about the autofocus. It was very, very good. The only thing that's different in this S lens, the autofocus is a little bit louder, so you can actually hear it moving as opposed to something like the 35 or the 50. It's basically completely silent in those two lenses. The 85 does have some sound, so if you guys are doing video, it might be something that you want to, you know, consider. It's definitely not as loud as the G lenses, but there is some more sound. Next thing is the Bokeh. Okay, now this lens has 9 rounded aperture blades instead of straight blades like the 1.8G. The rounded aperture blades make a big difference in the autofocus elements in the background. They just do. They look much more pleasing and much more beautiful in my opinion. It's not a 1.4 lens, so, you know, the thing is the 1.4 lens, I did shoot at 1.4, you know, a lot when I used that lens. Unless you're super, super close up to something within a couple of feet, you know, you're not going to get like a tiny razor thin depth of field. Like if something's a lot further, like you're shooting at 1.4 and somebody's on the dance floor, like, you know, 15 feet away from you, you know, you can lock onto a face and you can actually, you know, you can actually get it in focus. I don't have that capability, obviously, with the 1.8. It's not a 1.4 lens, so there's less light. But the thing it's almost like a negligible trade-off with these new cameras, because the Z bodies, I shoot at ISO 5000 all the time, and the pictures are perfectly usable. I don't know about the Z7, how the high ISOs, 5000 plus, actually translate into images because of the higher resolution. The grain's going to look different. But in terms of the Z6, still looks beautiful. So I can, you know, bump it up to ISO 5000 if I need to, and 1.8, it's still a beautiful image, and the grain looks very, very, well, the noise almost renders like grain, so it's very, very pleasing. It's not like this, you know, shitty, terrible image that's falling apart at ISO 5000. It's really not. The image quality looks really, really good. So I shot this lens at basically 1.8 the whole time. I don't think I ever stopped it down. Shooting 1.8 the whole time. As you're listening to this review, just know that basically all the stuff that I'm talking about is shot wide open. So the next thing, the sharpness. It's basically phenomenal. It's an extremely sharp lens, guys. It's completely sharp across the frame. I shot a bunch of family formals with it, and everything across the frame was sharp, okay? So that's not something that you're going to get with all these G lenses. I mean, you're just not. As it gets further out into the sides, you get some, you know, like, it just starts to kind of fall apart, and it gets way softer as it moves out. S lens doesn't have that problem. It's this nice focal plane that you're shooting at 1.8. Everything across the frame is in focus, and that's really, really nice. I mean, you know, sharpness definitely isn't everything, but to me, if I'm shooting it at very wide open apertures, I want to know that I can put things in the corners or in the sides, or I can shoot family formals and the faces aren't just going to fall apart or get really, really soft as I move out from the center. The 1.8S does not have that problem. It's optically, it's beautiful. I mean, it's very, very sharp across the frame. So, sorry guys, I'm still getting over being sick. Next thing, this is one of my favorites, the manual focus ring. This thing is so sweet, guys. Now, I don't know how you guys shoot, but I do a lot of manual focusing with you know, when it's face tracking or something like that, I always tend to grab the focus ring. And if you hold I shoot back button focus, so if you hold the back button focus and just grab the focus ring, no matter what focus mode you're in, it's automatically going to switch to peaking, and it's going to show you the highlights, which is great, because if something's like having trouble hunting, or you just don't know if it's in focus, you can just push that back button focus and then start moving the ring, and it'll show you exactly which peaking highlights is going to get everything in focus, which is awesome. So I use this all the time. It's very responsive, very, very quick. There's no delay in it. There's not like a little bit, to turn it to get it moving and then it kicks in. It's very responsive. Everything's all electronic in this lens, so, yeah, it's very responsive and great. It feels nice. It's a metal aperture ring, and it just feels quality. So the smoothness in the integration of the ring and the highlights, the focus peaking, has just like completely revolutionized the way I shoot these lenses, these S lenses. Integration of the peaking is one of the best things about this camera. It really is. So I use that all the time. Let's talk about the build quality. Build quality is great. Okay, it's made in China. Yeah, yeah, it's made in China. But the thing is it's not. It doesn't feel like a cheap lens. It's almost $800, right under $800, or $800 with tax. So, it's not a cheap 1.8 lens, but for what you get with it, it's great. Now, I did a video about this before, how we shot in the rain. Sarah and I did an engagement shoot a couple weeks ago, 100% in the rain. It was pouring out. We brought our S lenses and our Zs, and they were completely fine in the rain. These S lenses, the moisture, drip proof, rain proofing is extremely good, and I trust it 100% completely. And that's one of the biggest things. Like, I know that the FTZ adapter does have a gasket on it, but to tell you the truth, I'm not 100% feeling safe bringing it out in moisture unless you have a native lens on the body. That's just me. I'm not saying that it's going to fail or anything like that. Just for me, I don't feel safe with it, because I know that the native lenses do a great job. So build quality is there, and it's very balanced on the body. This is the main aspect of the feel, and one of the differences of why I went over to the Z system is the actual feel of these lenses in my hand. I don't believe that gear should get in your way. I feel like the best way to get good photos is to be incognito. Sorry guys. Is to be incognito, and you should do your best to stay out of people's way and not be like intrusive and like control the scene with your presence. The Z bodies are small enough and light enough that you can stay out of the way, and that can be kind of weird if you're using non-native lenses, because they're so big, and they can, you have the adapter which kind of pushes it out, adds more gear to it. This is very balanced on the Z. It feels good, not too heavy. Definitely a huge step up in terms of weight and functionality as opposed to the 1.4G. That's a big lens. It's heavy. It's a pain in the ass. This one, super balanced and feels nice on it. So, guys, I just want to say that this is a great lens. It's worth every penny. If you have a Z body, it's essential in my opinion, and it's money well worth the price. I know that this is more expensive than normal 1.8 lenses that came out, but it's quality. You're getting a lot for the money. I would say that this is better, if you own the Z, this is better than the 85 1.4G in terms of what you can do with it. It just renders things beautifully. It really does. It's a phenomenal lens, so I would encourage people to go out and buy it. I'm certainly going to be keeping it and using it from now on with my kit in my weddings, and not really anything more I can say about it, guys. So hopefully this was helpful. Any questions at all, if I didn't cover it, drop them in the comments, and till the next video, guys.